In this video, I'm going to explain how alliances and PvP actually work in a map spanning a huge area. Thank you very much to Epic War Thrones for sponsoring this series of videos. Now, let's get into it. You know what? I absolutely would like to join an alliance. The way alliances work is you've got these leaders, and obviously this one, for example, quite a few members in the Zhu state, and I can apply. So I can click there, and they can let me in. So as you can see here, there are loads and loads and loads of different states. So for example, there was that one that I looked at in the Zhu state. I try and find the Zhu state. Yeah, here we go, Zhu state up here. So this is where they're based. As you can see, I'm not really suffering from lack of grain, really. It's mostly just the others. Alright, we are also going to recruit some more men. Because we are lacking a little bit on that. Have a good 2,000, I reckoned. Yeah, that'll do. Ooh, masonry. Can get another guy out here. Who don't I need? Need you. How about that? Go on. You can be my masonry guy. Excellent. Bear in mind that my own personal character has been plugging away, producing all resources yield plus 1.6%. He's been doing quite nicely. Let me explain a little bit about the alliance stuff. So all this territory is stretched over, I think, around 4 million square kilometers. So it took me quite a while. I mean, you can sort of see up here. If I were to go all the way from the Liang state up here. Let's have a look. How far is this from my capital? About 4,000 miles. I am going to do my favorite thing in this game, though, which is summon some generals. Ooh, the loyal. Let's summon 5 of those. Alright, no. Oh, great. That pikeman. Generic pikeman 1. Let's see what else we can get. Lots of Han Fus. Alright, some soldiers of Wei. Well, infantry. Oh god, it's another pikeman. Alright, warriors of excellence. It's a cavalry this time. It's a cavalryman this time, at least, not a pikeman. We still got this guy who still looks dodgy as hell. Red Cliff on fire. Let's summon him. Ooh. Miju. Jurong. Li Jue, I think I have a couple of him. Well, now I definitely have a couple of them. Ooh, we got a 5-star guy. Jesus, that does not look wieldy. He almost killed that bird. Oh, it's his friend. That's a plot twist. God, he rivals Pan in size. So, as I've been stacking up against my nemesis, Joel, you can see this option here, which is Siege. Now, if I'm part of an alliance, I'm allowed to actually fight other players, and this is sort of the core aspect of the gameplay of alliances. Right now, I spend my time clearing up these resource piles, I suppose you'd call them, growing my soft power, make sure my economy's strong. I mean, look at that, 10,000, I suppose. It's pretty solid. So if I wanted to attack Joel, I would have to be in an alliance, and then I could siege him down, and there's the sort of PvP element of it. So on this map, I'll show you again, you can kind of see how this would work. So obviously there's that element of, if I, for example, attack Joel, and he's actually got a bunch of big bad friends, then suddenly I've dragged my friends into it, who are going to drag their larger friends into it, and then you get these massive wars. When you're dealing with the size of sort of 270 and 159 and stuff, it can get quite a bit intense, shall we say. In the meantime, we are going to send our big boy Pan to go and clear some more supplies in anticipation that we can sort of make ourselves more attractive prospects for an alliance. The boys are leveling up quite nicely. Let's go check out what this battle looked like. Oh god, the fire arrows once more. They've always given us trouble. Actually, a ridiculously quick and easy victory there. We're getting a lot better at this. We only lost 56 troops. Now, if that doesn't get the attention of Alliance, I don't know what will. I just want to show you these sort of season episodes, I think you call them. It's really cool because it shows you sort of server objectives. So, in a way, everyone's working together to sort of achieve these aims. In this case, Conscript Refugee 10,000 times server wide. We actually managed to do that, so that's good. The next one, Escort Supplies. The first level 3 cities been occupied. I mean, that's good for everyone involved because we all get 100 beads, apart from the person, I suppose, you know, that got occupied. Level 4 city. Then obviously they get harder and harder. So the current one is occupy a total of 3 level 6 cities. And we get all the way to, for example, to episode 20, where Luo Yang has been occupied. The grand unification. As you can see, you also have these solo events as well. So it's both like a server-wide, a solo event. These new features happen each time there's a different episode, so it's quite cool. And obviously you can see the time left here. Check out one of these large cities, shall we? I mean, that's a big one. Jesus. So let me explain a little bit about how sieges would work. Obviously, you can see this guy's tower here, and towers are quite important for sieges. So let me go back to my town. In order to siege, they'd have to be within your territory. Obviously, the power tower here means that that's absolutely the case. So, were I in an alliance, I could now attack Joel because he's in my sort of sphere of influence, I suppose you'd call it. So, for example, if you wanted to attack Fan Yang, which is a level 6 city, you'd have to be within range. And obviously, that's going to be a little bit tricky. When it comes to attacking something of this magnitude, because you can get things like this. Let me show you. Here's some things that can help against sieges and stuff. So if you're in a pitted battle, again, myself versus the legendary Joel, something like city walls would be very, very important because it increases our durability and our city defense value. You can kind of see how things like reserves limits and time reduce and this sort of stuff is quite important when you're in these sort of alliance battles. It's all very well and good having all the economic power, but if you don't have the military stuff like the sort of tactics advantage that I have, or the bulwark stuff, 60 to 100 to 1,200 troops is quite the jump. Then you're gonna get basically destroyed. Something else that's important to note is, for example, alarm time. So right now, if someone was to attack me, I'd have 1 minute of warning, which really isn't enough time. Let's say I had Pan out on a bit of a mission, and I need to bring him back for the defense of the city. It's not gonna tell me. I'm not gonna have enough time to be able to do that. But as you see, level 1, 2 minutes, and then it sort of incrementally goes up from there. The higher your palace level, the more of this tech you can get. For example, you get increased damage for the specific formations. Obviously, remember, we've got square formation, wing formation, and arrow formation, and that increases the damage and sort of the ability of those formations. So if I'm fighting someone, and my preferred thing is the arrow, I'll try and upgrade this before the others and try and do as much damage in the first 30 seconds as possible. Try and win a war of attrition, for example, especially if I have better economic power than them. A little bit more about how this sort of alliance stuff works. So a lot of them have these sort of alliance requirements. For example, power greater than or equal to 900 and needs to be approved. So you can't just apply and sort of get in. It's not like a free joining sort of thing. This one, for example, he's only got 1 member. It's just him. It just requires approval. It doesn't sort of need that minimum requirement of power. So I just about scrape into the requirements. As you can see here, there are these 2 leaders. There's Vanny and there's Yamato. So Vanny here will work as the actual leader. So that person will be running the faction, should we say. The diplomat works slightly differently. The diplomat, as the name suggests, engages in diplomacy. And so will manage that side of things. Obviously with the permission of the leader, or depending on how it's set up. I know some people like to do sort of a democracy style thing. But fundamentally, this guy runs the place. This guy deals with foreign affairs. See, this guy's power is a little bit higher than mine. You know, just over 2 million versus my 960. That's okay. Also, let me take you through one of the reasons people actually do this. The rankings. So as you can see, we have a variety of different categories over here. First one up is the personal power. So it looks like Cheng from U State in the Alliance of Teamwork has quite the lead on everyone else. But you can sort of see why people would compete for these sort of rankings. And there you also have personal merit. I'm unranked on this front, I'm afraid. It looks like I'm ranked number 709 on personal power, so that's not too bad. In terms of alliance power, teamwork, warpath, gods, just the legend. Oh, the Cheshire Cat! That's an amazing name. As you can see, it sort of staggers downwards in terms of total power, as well as in terms of overall level and members and that sort of stuff. So, for example, these 2 fighting would be quite a significant deal. Over here, you can see the Alliance Merit, which looks very similar to the Alliance Power. Obviously, it's calculated just slightly differently. And from there, you have things like the Seasonal Achievement and Personal Achievement, which are just the stuff I was showing you earlier. Right, lads, I think that's the end of my overview of Epic War Thrones. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my other 3 videos. We've sort of shown a progression from starting out small, slowly building up your economic base, and now finally looking at what comes next, sort of the alliance side of things, the PvP element, the season rewards, and a bit more advanced stuff like that. I'd like to extend my thanks once more to Epic War Thrones and Arkansas Games for sponsoring this series of videos. Do make sure to click the link in the description so you can try it out for yourself.